So, as you know it, looting and shoplifting has been on the rise throughout America. Ever since a lot of these cities, like LA, have implemented zero cash bail, and now the whole state of Illinois, they also implemented zero cash bail as well. People are taking full advantage of this. And not only that, with LA in particular, they also have the penal code 459.5 PC. And it's basically a shoplifting law that makes it a misdemeanor for shoplifting in any business if you steal any merchandise at $950 or less. So with a lot of these laws being passed, people are taking full advantage of it. Now, Donald Trump had this to say about it. So I'm gonna play this real quick.
And we will immediately stop. And some people are going to say, oh, this is terrible. I can't believe it. You know, these people are killing people when they go into the stores. You'll have 300 young people who are not looking for a good future walk into a store, big department store, and just pillage it. And if you happen to be there when they're there, they'll knock the hell out of you and kill you in some cases. And we will immediately stop all of the pillaging and theft. Very simply, if you rob a store, you can fully expect to be shot as you are leaving that store. Shot.
Taken 20.
So y'all heard what he said. He basically said if you loot a store, you could expect to be shot. So let's get into this because we're really going to break this down and how this will be used to target black people, whether you're a law-abiding citizen or not. So let's get into it.
Travis Washington. I understand police officers have a hard job. Police officers are first responders, and as city council members, you're going to do whatever it takes to make sure the city feels safe. In this budget hearing, I understand that funding the police with the best budget possible will bring a sense of security in the city. My biggest problem is accountability. The names like Philando Castile, Alton Sterling, Jacob Blake, Ayanna Jones, Daniel Shaver, Jalen Walker, Frederick Holder, and Donovan Lewis were individuals that were shot on arm by the police. In Milwaukee, the city council voted on the legislation called the George Floyd Policing Act. The city council voted to be put on record in support of the federal law of George Floyd Justice of Policing. It's not to be a law, it's show that they support it. Hello, my name is Travis Washington. I am the creator of the Hands Up Act. It's a law where if a police officer shoots somebody in the arm, it's a mandatory 15-year prison sentence. I've received more than 2.7 million signatures. Michael Brown's mother has signed it. Anton Rose's mother has signed it. Andres Gosdora's mother has signed it. And Marcelo Sinner's sister has also signed it. My goal is to push you aldermen to support the Hands Up Act legislation and be counted on record to support this, whether you support it or not, and to make sure that city of Indianapolis understands that you care about police accountability. Once again, my name is Travis Washington. I'm the Hands Up Act creator. Thank you.
So speaking of the the Hands Up Act, let's get into it. So recently there was a uprising in Philadelphia, right? Because a cop got acquitted for killing an unarmed man. Now, if you don't know what that act is, he explained it, but basically what it's doing, if you have your hands up, which is showing that hey, I am surrendering and I am complying with what you say, and a police officer shoots that person, it will give them a mandatory minimum of 15 years. So y'all go check that out. Y'all go support that. It's on change.org. Go and sign the petition. But yeah, let's get into this though. So that was recently just looting in Philadelphia. And let's talk about it. I'm gonna read this article for y'all, right? Hold up. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Now, as you know, since we're talking about looting and everything, they passed the zero cash bill in Los Angeles. And they passed it in the whole state of Illinois, no cash bill. So, people are going to take full advantage of that. And then not only that, in California specifically, they have a law to where, hey, if you steal $950 worth of merchandise or less, it only counts as a misdemeanor. So people are taking full advantage of that as well. That's why you see a lot of looting in California stores, in Oakland, in Los Angeles, high-end stores, because if they steal $950 worth of items or less, it's only a misdemeanor. Now, with a lot of these lootings, it has been organized groups, it seems like, right? It's starting to be more and more people being involved in these lootings. And my thing is, this is definitely leading to something bigger, right? They have bigger plans with this. And to me, it all seems orchestrated. Because to me, it seems like a 1994 Crime Bill 2.0 scenario, right? People and businesses are getting so fed up with all these people stealing, and they made the laws lax like this for a reason, right? Because they knew people were going to take advantage of it. When it comes to law, you have to have balance, because people are going to take advantage of it. Now, a lot of these bigger corporations can file a loss. A lot of them already do this. They file an automatic loss on a lot of these products anyways. So these $1 billion and multi-million dollar corporations not really hurting like that. It's more of the small businesses that are getting the brunt of this, that's really suffering from it. And I most definitely don't condone looting or stealing or anything like that. If you are doing that and you're taking advantage of that and you think you're going to get off scot-free, you have a rude awakening coming, right? because they have all type of technology. They have advanced cameras that can identify you personally by the way you walk. Um, Even if you have a mask on, they can identify all of these things, right? With this zero cash bail thing, what I'm thinking they're going to do with this is they're going to be like, hey, okay, yeah, you can bail out, but what they're going to do, they're going to be building a case on you, and they're going to be like, okay, so he get off, they gonna let you get off scot free the first few times or whatever, but they're going to be building up a case on you. And once you get into that court system and you get jammed up, they gonna throw the book at you. They gonna be like, oh, okay, okay. You know, well, we got you here doing this, we got you here doing that, we got you here doing this. This is not your first offense. So you know what? We're going to give you 10 to 15 years in prison. In prison. Not county jail, but prison. So listen. Um this just recently happened like a few days ago. Hold up. So I'm reading the article. This is on Philadelphia, on a local Philadelphia news station. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna share this with y'all.
Yeah, and the good news, we haven't had any major reports of looting on this third night as businesses are trying to deter it. Some of them hiring private security, and others had Philadelphia police cars stationed outside. Here at the CVS, that was the case. You can see the windows here boarded up. That's because pharmacies like this one have been targets of these thieves who've been breaking into drugstores as well. Overnight, we saw those Philadelphia police cruisers stationed outside numerous businesses across Northwest Philly. It comes after 2 days of looting in the city, a show of force. And surveillance video from yesterday at a beauty supply store shows roving bands of looters breaking in, stealing whatever they could get their hands on. And liquor stores, they were popular targets as well. All fine wine and good spirit stores around the city of Philadelphia closing as a precaution, while the owner of that beauty store says she's now wondering how she's going to rebuild.
I need help. I need help getting everything fixed. I need help getting my products back. I need help with all of it. Just want them to stop. Stop, just stop. We are innocent of all of this. I just want them to stop.
Well, arrests are piling up. Again, 61 people charged so far, according to the district attorney's office. That number could rise as police are continuing investigations at all of these stores that have been looted. Coming up in 30 minutes, we'll also hear from one of the people charged, that social media influencer known as Meatball Online. She just made bail and spoke with NBC 10. For now, we're live here in Mount Airy. Randy Gyllenhaal, NBC 10 News.
So yeah.
Allison Hoker and Ellen DeGeneres are remembering the
So that was after a police was acquitted for killing an unarmed man. Now let's get into that. Let's get more into that as well, right? And the thing is, you're gonna have people that's actually, protesting, and then you're gonna have people that takes advantage of the situation, right? You had the same thing happen in Ferguson. I think Baltimore as well. You had people, to where like, hey, let's take advantage of this situation. It's an uprising because of a police officer getting acquitted, and we're gonna take full advantage and hey, just loot all these stores. Now that store that they looted, that was a black owned business, right? That was a small business. And things like that can ruin small businesses. Small businesses can't take hits like that because most of the time, a lot of these small businesses are breaking even, and even like with like a fine or something like that, a $2,000 fine or any little thing could hurt a small business because small businesses are breaking even. Now, that sister, she seemed like a African sister or something like that. But I mean, it's still a black owned business, right? No matter if they're from the continent or the Caribbean or anything like that, you don't want to be doing that to black owned businesses. And you shouldn't do that to any business, right? Bigger businesses can take huge hits like that because they can literally just write that off as a loss, and they got insurance to handle all of that. But small businesses like that, they can't take hits like that. And that was a black owned hair salon. Like, why would you go and target people in your own community? And we complain about like the Asians owning all the salons and having a monopoly on all the businesses. But when we do have a black business, um, we go and do stuff like this. Like that's just not right. And the thing is, y'all thinking y'all finna get off scot free with stuff like this. But like I said, they have advanced technology that can monitor you just by like how you walk, how you move. And you think you're getting off scot free by doing stuff like this, but it's cameras everywhere, literally. And it was 61 people arrested. Now, let me get more into this story about what happened with the shooting because I actually haven't heard too much about this on what went down in Philadelphia. So it said, and this is the New York Times, it says judge dismisses murder charge against Philadelphia officer in fatal shooting. A municipal judge ruled the prosecutors had no presented enough evidence. Body camera footage showed the officer shooting Eddie Arizari at near point blank range. Now, listen, this is why we need the Hands Up Act, right? We need this to get passed because if you have your hands up, and I'm repeating this again, if you have your hands up, showing that you're surrendered and you're complying with the officer, and that officer shoots you, that will give them a mandatory 15-year sentence. But let me get continue with the story, right? Eddie Arizari, he's 27, is Miss Arizari was sitting in his car on August 14. Criminal charges against Miss Dow was dismissed on Tuesday. A judge on Tuesday dismissed all charges against Philadelphia police officer who fatally shot a 27-year-old man who was sitting in his parked car last month, ruling the prosecutor had not presented enough evidence. Municipal Judge Wendy L. Pugh agreed with lawyer for the officer, Mark Dow, who had argued that he was acting in self-defense when he killed Eddie Arizari on August 14, believing that Arizari was taking out a weapon. Excuse me. Ms. Dow, a 5-year veteran of the police department, was suspended from the force with intent to dismiss. After body camera footage shows Ms. Dow fatally shooting Ms. Arizari 6 times at near point blank range. According to prosecutors, he was charged with first-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter, aggravated assault, simple assault, possession of an instrumental of crime, reckless endangerment of another person, and official oppression. Defense lawyer had argued that Mr. Dow's partner yelled gun before the officer opened fire on Ms. Rosari, who was sitting in the driver's seat at the time. The district's attorney office in Philadelphia immediately appealed the decision, and her in the court of common pleas was set for October 25th. In keeping with our oath to seek justice, we will move to have all criminal charges, including murder, reinstated against this defendant. The statement said, Ms. Rosari relatives expressed outrage after the ruling. The officer can go out here and kill a person that's not doing anything and get away with murder because this is what it was. So Rhoda Garcia, Miss Rosari's aunt, said outside the courthouse. Inside the courthouse, police officers responded to the judge's decisions with the outburst of support for Masvidal. The Inquirer report. The ruling is the latest twist in the fatal shooting that sparked community anger and protest. The officer fatally shot Miss Rosari around noon on August 14th after what the police initially said was a car chase that ended in Miss Rosari lunging at Masvidal with a knife. But 2 days later, police officers changed that account and said that body camera footage showed the man, later identified as Miss Rosari, was still in his car when the officer shot him. So that's not making no sense at all. Because first of all, they changed the story. First of all, they said it was a gun. Then they said he lunged at him with a knife. And then 2 days later, they said he never got out the car. So I'm trying to figure out that's conflicting evidence right there in itself. So let me finish reading this. Showed that the man later identified as Miss Rosari was still in his car when the officer shot him. Ms. Dow and his partner were sitting in a marked police car when they saw a Toyota Corolla that they say was driving erratically in the Kensington neighborhood northeast of Center City, Philadelphia. The officers followed the car the wrong way down a one-way street where it pulled over in a parking spot. The photo showed Ms. Dow racing out of the passenger seat of the police car and within seconds forcefully telling Ms. Rosari that he would shoot him and quickly firing his gun multiple times through the driver's seat. Ms. Dow instructed Ms. Rosari to keep those hands up right where I can see him as Ms. Rosari slumped over in the seat. So basically, the first thing that this police officer did, he didn't even say anything else. He just got out the car and just shot the man multiple times. So all of that is a lie. So how did he get off scot-free? So do the people not have a reason to be outraged? Now, I'm not saying they should go looting stores, but they should. I feel like they should. You know what? I'm not. But do the people not have a reason to be outraged? Like seriously, like you just went over there and just started shooting at the man. And then after you murder him, you're gonna tell him to keep his hands up. Like, what kind of sense does that make? Like, how did he get off scot-free? How did he get off scot-free? Let me finish reading. Miss Rosari was declared dead at the hospital later that day. Mr. Dow's partner Michael Morris testified on Tuesday that Mr. Rosari appeared to be holding a knife in his car in the moments before the shooting, and he tried to warn Miss Dow, the Inquirer reporter. Okay, but he never got out the car, so that's a lie. So they just over her lying, and they saying we should trust all police officers and we should just be giving all our money to fund them. But they sitting here doing corrupt and evil stuff like this. Investigators found 2 knives in Miss Arizari's car, a kitchen knife and a serrated folding knife. The police have said his family said Miss Arizari carried a pocket knife with him regularly. They describe him as a quiet man who was being treated for serious mental illness, including schizophrenia. He moved to Philadelphia about 7 years ago from Puerto Rico, they said, and had difficulty understanding English. Mr. was arrested September 8th and in an unusual move was released on bail, but 2 weeks later, another judge revoked his bail and ordered him jail before preliminary hearing on Tuesday. Judge Pugh ordered him released again. This was a tragedy and not a crime. Brian McNogle, a lawyer for Mesdal, said in a statement. So, but the stories are conflicting with each other, right? They said he never got out the car. At first they said he had a gun and they changed it to knife. I mean, and they said he did have 2 knives in the car, but it's just like if he's in the car, you just fire off and you just shoot the dude. Cause it seems like as soon as he got to the car, he just fired off on the dude from the video cam footage. He just started firing off on the dude. He ain't give no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He just went straight to work. So I can see why people feel some type of way about it, right? My thing is a lot of these Trump supporters, a lot of these people on the right wing, these white ring racist people, they are pure hypocrites. That's what I don't like. And I continuously tell y'all I don't endorse either side. They two wings on the same bird, which is white supremacy. But they are nothing but hypocrites. Because they will be the same people that's condoning storming the Capitol, a federal building. But when people are uprising and feeling some type of way because somebody was unjustly murdered by a race soldier, and the dude, I don't know what, the dude was a Puerto Rican dude. He wasn't no black dude, but still though, it's still unjust, right? Police officers, they abuse their power, and they want to use this whole thing. They want to talk bad and talk down against Black Lives Matter and people uprising against the police doing unjust things. But when it comes to storming the Capitol, it was like, yeah, we're patriots, we're fighting for our freedom. So to me, they're nothing but hypocrites. They're nothing but hypocrites. And like I said previously, right? I'm not condoning this looting at all, right? Especially like for small businesses and black owned businesses. Like, no, like that's not the way to go. And y'all ain't gonna do nothing but suffer at the end of that, right? If y'all get caught up in there, y'all gonna suffer. You keep doing these petty crimes over and over again and thinking you're gonna get away with it. They gonna put that book on you. So it's a couple scenarios, right? So the first scenario, right? We're just looting in general. I'm not talking about Philadelphia because with the whole Philadelphia thing, it was an uprising against police brutality, and the looters they just took full advantage of that. But I'm just talking about all over the nation in general, right? But there's no cash bail. You know, they have a lot of looting in Chicago, breaking into stores and stuff, and then you have California as well, right? I kind of explained those laws to you. I'm not gonna get too into them in this live stream, but I kind of just gave you the gist of them. First scenario, what I think they're going to do is, and I said this before, but they're going to use this as a way to push a crime bill 2.0, meaning they orchestrating a problem, which is all these store lootings, all the vandalizing, all the crime. They're gonna say, hey, this is running the businesses out of our communities. This is hurting us. The people, they're going to get tired of it, and they're going to say, hey, we need to really do something about this. We really need to get harder on these criminals. We really need to get harder on crime. And what's going to happen next is they're going to implement laws that's really put the foot down on these people, right? They're like, okay, well, how about this? They gonna come out with some real strict, harsh laws. I'm telling you. And it's gonna be like the crime bill 2.0, to where they gonna have you down in that cell. They're gonna put you in prison. You gonna think you getting away with it. You gonna think you scot free, but they gonna put you in prison. They gonna throw the book at you with these harsh laws. And don't worry, you think you're getting off scot free. Like I said, they have all this advanced technology. They have all these cameras. They gonna run them them tapes back on you. They gonna find you. They gonna come look for you. They gonna be like, oh yeah, it's your time. It's time for you to come to court. You ain't gotta wait no holding cell in the county jail or anything like that. But hey, when it's time, you gonna have to do your time in prison. We gonna add all these petty crimes up that you've been doing. We throwing that book at you. And then the second thing, right? This is the second thing I can see from this. Just the looting in general, right? Our country is just in a rapid decline. Everything is going downhill to the point to where they just like, hey, we gonna let them do whatever. We're gonna make it like the purge. It's gonna be scot-free. No cash bail or anything like that. They gonna be able to do whatever they want to. And they're gonna create a chaotic environment in this country to where it continues to be on a complete decline, because they already flooding us with migrants. And with this new cash bail, no cash bail and stuff, when they commit crimes, what you think is going to happen? Nothing. We don't even know who they are. We don't even know who they are. So nothing is going to happen to them either. And they just orchestrating this whole thing so it can just be a chaotic environment and it can just implode. Basically like a Trojan horse. You think about it. Everything that's been going on this year. Train derailments, food being poisoned, water supply being poisoned, moving all these migrants in, having them coming across the border freely. Ain't no telling what type of diseases they have or what type of crime they have done or where they been or where they even coming from or anything about them. And then on top of that, they implement these laws to make it scot-free. for people to get off scot-free, no cash bail. So those the two scenarios. Either they're gonna use this as a way to orchestrate a crime bill 2.0, or they're gonna use this to just as part of a way to just completely just disintegrate this country and just implode it. And they don't even care. They just setting us all up for the okie doke. They going on about their business and they finna do what they do. So yeah, but yeah, that's all I got for this. Those are the two main scenarios I'm thinking of to why this could be happening, and why a lot of this stuff seems orchestrated. And yeah, so only time will tell. We just gotta, at this point, ain't no telling what's gonna happen. It's like a wild card. We are in weird times. It's like we're living in a twilight zone. We're living in a real life purge. So yeah. But I have a lot of more videos coming. I know it's been a while since I actually did like a video like one of these, and a lot more topics coming. So y'all stay tuned. In peace. Y'all have a good night.